Welcome to Big Faces Worldwide. It's your guy Big Will. When I'm back, fam. I'm back with this boxing talk. What's good with your fam? Hey, listen, man. I thank you all for joining me tonight, man. I got a few topics that I want to discuss, man. I want to get into Kell Brook and Michael Zerafa. I want to get into Lomachenko and Pedraza. I want to get into Teofimo Lopez and Mason Menard. And I also want to talk about Deontay Wilder. But I'm going to start the night off, man. I'm going to start the night off with Kell, the Special One Brook, man. Kell, the Special One Brook, he went up against Michael Zerafa this past Saturday, man, over there in the UK, man. And I got to say, Kell Brook did not look like the Kell Brook of old, man. He started the fight off very good, in my opinion. Round one, Kell Brook was explosive. He was powerful. He was doing the pressing. And you could see that, he wanted to make a statement, leading up to this fight, by the way he was training, changing trainers, leaving Dominic Ingle, man. You could kind of sense that Kell Brook wanted to make a statement with this fight, and he didn't do it. He did not make a statement during this fight. And I think a lot of the heavy criticism that he's getting, man, some of it is a little unwarranted. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to give my opinion on why. First of all, let me lay the disclaimer out there that I've always said this, and I'm going to keep saying this until my opinion changes. I am a Kell Brook fan. I think Kell Brook is an amazing talent. Now, with that said, he did produce a lackluster performance Saturday night against Zerafa. And he did some things in this matchup that disturbed me. You know what I'm saying? Kell Brook, you gotta take into perspective the whole picture, man. Kell Brook has fought a total of two rounds in the past since May of 2017, when he lost his title to Errol Spence Jr. So this is almost a year and a half, or about a year and a half. Kell Brook's only fought 2 rounds. You know what I'm saying? So yes, he's going to have some ring rust. We know he was having problems with his weight. We know he was having problems with his confidence, depression, and the shit that normal fighters go through sometimes when they take a loss, such as the one that he took with Errol Spence and Gennady Golovkin. In both cases, he broke his orbital bone in his right eye, his orbital bone in his left eye. Both cases, he had to have severe eye surgery, man. So he needed time to heal, you know what I mean? And that's devastating, man, when you're afraid of losing your eye, and all type of thoughts come into your mind, you know what I'm saying? And Kell Brook, I think people need to ease up on Kell Brook just a little bit. Although now I'm going to say I did see some things that concern me in the Kell Brook fight. Now this fight for Kell Brook was touted as a warm-up fight, a tune-up fight, you know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what it was, man. But you got to look at it for what it is. It's a tune-up fight. But Kell Brook won a unanimous decision. Kell Brook, in my opinion, he won every single round. Now, did Kell Brook get hit sometimes? Yes, he got hit. You know what I mean? I think we have seen Kell Brook in better shape. It looked like he gassed out in the later rounds. Just take the weigh-in for the Spence fight, and take the weigh-in for this fight. You can see clearly at the Spence fight, Kell Brook was more ripped up than he was, in better shape than he was in this fight with Michael Zerafa, man. And I think that played a part. Maybe something that he did in this new training camp didn't work for him, man, because he definitely looked like he gassed out during the second half of this fight, man. And he's talking about, this fight was to become the mandatory for Jarrett Hurd's WBA title, man. Do I think he's ready for Jarrett Hurd right now? Absolutely not, man. I did a video, man, about a year ago when they was first talking about Jarrett Hurd and Kell Brook. You know what I'm saying? At that time, I really thought in my mind that Kell Brook would go in there and beat Jarrett Hurd. But my opinion of Jarrett Hurd has definitely changed after his last couple fights, especially the fight with Laura. He showed me that he can, overcome adversity. He can stand there and go toe-to-toe because Laura hit him with some really, really good shots, man. And, Jarrett Hurd just kept coming, man. And he's going to keep coming. You're going to have some very, very vicious power to stop a guy like Jarrett Hurd, man. I think that he go in there against a guy like Jarrett Hurd, man. Jarrett Hurd will destroy Kell Brook, man. But, I think Kell Brook should take, at least 2 more fights, so-called tune-up fights before, he actually goes after these elite level competition, man. I know he's a little salty that he may not be getting the Amir Khan fight, and he wants to prove something, so he wants to go after the big names in America. I would not do it if I was Kell Brook. Based off this last performance, I think he needs some more rounds under his belt, man. It was good that he went to 12 rounds. You know what I'm saying? He got some ring rust off, man. He did not look spectacular doing it, but he got some rounds under his belt. Like I said, he's been out of the ring basically since 2017 of May. I know he got the Lomachenko fight, but he knocked him out in the second round, so that really don't count as getting rounds in. You know what I mean? Next, I want to talk about Teofimo Lopez. Is this guy the best prospect? Is he really? That's a question I want to ask you, man. That's a question I've been asking myself, man. Before this fight, I like Teofimo Lopez, man. I like his attitude. I like his confidence, man. He wants to rumble, and he wants to rumble the best, and he makes no mistake about it. You know what I mean? But myself, I thought Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson was the 2 front runners for the best prospects out right now. But now I think I'm going to have to put Teofimo Lopez in that category as well, man. And him and Devin Haney may be leading the pack, man. I really, really like Shakur Stevenson. I like his attitude. I like his humbleness, although he does go ham on some people on Twitter sometime. But I like how the guy moves, man. The guy is strictly boxing, man. Sleeps, eats, breathes, shits boxing. And I kind of dig that from the young buck. You dig? But Lopez, man, he really showed something in that Mason Menard fight. He showed that he was hungry. He showed that he was explosive. And he showed that he has that knockout concussive power. You know what I mean? There's a difference between somebody knocking somebody out from, accumulation of shots to the head and the ref comes in and stops it. You know what I mean? There's a difference between that type of knockout and the knockout that we seen this past Saturday night, that Teofimo Lopez knocked out Mason Menard, man. That punch was beautiful. It was exceptional. And them guys, in that weight division, they better beware. He said it that 2019 is going to be his year. I do believe that he will be a world champion soon. He wants all the big names. And, I want to see him up against him as well, man. Hats off to him. He did a very, very good job, in my opinion. I did not catch the HBO card yet. I am going to watch it, man. I was, obviously watching the ESPN card, but I will catch the final HBO card. I want to see, how they sent HBO off. If they sent them off good or if they sent them off bad. I didn't really want to watch no videos or read no articles about it, man, because I want to see it for myself. You know what I'm saying? But Lopez is definitely on my radar, and he should be on your radar as well. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's talk about the fight everybody's talking about, and that is Jose Pedraza and Vasyl Lomachenko, man. This was a unification bout. Vasyl Lomachenko was his second fight at the weight. It was also Pedraza's second fight at the weight. People are making a lot of a big deal that, Vasyl Vasyl Lomachenko's coming up in weight. He was a smaller guy. But you got to remember, Pedraza is coming up also. Pedraza also started at 126, just like Vasyl Lomachenko. You know what I mean? This is only his second fight at 135, man. So, you know, all that size difference, you know, although he did look a little bigger than Lomo, but basically, man, these guys have came the same path. They have traveled the same path, 126, 130, now both at 135. And people are making a big deal that, you know, Loma was not able to get Pedraza out of there, man. And he may have got hit a lot more than people would like, man. But you got to look at what Loma did, man. Loma won the fight, you know what I'm saying? Loma won the majority of the rounds. He looked good doing it. He hurt Pedraza late in the fight, dropped him. You know what I'm saying? He did what he needed to do to get the victory. You know, everybody's comparing Tank Davis' fight with Pedraza to Lomachenko's fight with Pedraza. You know what I mean? Tank Davis went in there and basically destroyed Pedraza, got him out of there in 7th round. You know what I mean? Where Loma looked like at times he was struggling with Pedraza. You know, he wasn't able to stop him. But, you know, that's where the cliche statement that styles make fights come into play, man. You cannot base what Tank did to Pedraza, you know, and what Loma did to Pedraza off of, you know, saying that Tank will, you know, go in there and beat Lomachenko. But I do have a very, very strong opinion on that fight. But that's for another video, man. But all I got to say is I think very, very highly of Gervonta Tank Davis. You know, and I'm going to leave that right there. But, yeah, man, Lomachenko is definitely the goods. You know what I'm saying? I do think that he should go back down to 130. I think 135, you know, although he can beat these guys, he's not looking as dominant as he normally looks, you know what I'm saying? Because he's facing bigger guys and his power's not translating up in the weight class, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, he's not knocking these guys out. He's not making them quit. And but, you know, all them punches, them cumulative punches that he was putting on Pedraza's ass in that 11th round, I think that's what dropped Pedraza. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that he was actually that badly hurt. But, you know, those accumulation of punches, man, kind of wore Pedraza down, kind of wore him down physically and mentally. And that's what Lomachenko does good, man. He stays on you, man. He throws a lot of punches. He's in your face the whole time. And he wants to get in your mind. He wants to beat you up mentally as well as physically, man. Lomachenko is definitely a very good fighter. Just because he had a tough fight does not mean he's not still one of the best fighters in the world. I still got him one of the best fighters in the world. Although I do think Mikey Garcia, he better leave Mikey Garcia alone, man. I think Mikey Garcia is just a little bit too strong and powerful for him. And, you know, I'm going to just leave that right there also. That's for another video if the fight ever get made. But I'm not going to speculate. Now, Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder came out this weekend and said that in the rematch with Tyson Fury, he would want to bulk up to 245 pounds. And I've listened to a lot of different comments and videos on people's opinions saying that if it ain't broke, don't fix it and this and that. My thoughts on the matter is I think that is a very, very good idea. In this era of heavyweights, man, these guys are huge. These guys are monsters. And you coming in at 209 pounds, going up against a guy who was 260, 270, you know, that's a big weight advantage, man. And obviously Wilder felt it. He felt it, man. You know, when he was in those clinches, he had to use a little bit more strength and effort to get Fury up off of him, man. That's why you see him started to fade in those championship rounds, because, you know, when you wrestling around with a guy that's 260, 270 pounds, outweighing you by 40, 50 pounds, that's going to take a lot out of you, man. You know, just imagine Let's just imagine for a second. Let's just use this for an example. Let's use Lomachenko. Lomachenko's a 135-pound fighter. Let's say he was to go up and fight Jarrett Hurd at 160. You know what I mean? That's what, 25 pounds? Just imagine how he would get destroyed, by the bigger Jarrett Hurd. Well, that's what Wilder had to face in Fury. The weight advantage that Fury had was like the same scenario. That's why people say there's weight classes for a reason. But for some reason, that don't pertain to the heavyweight division. A guy could come in and outweigh a guy by 30, 40, 50 pounds, and it's cool, man. That's something that, I think the sanctioning bodies need to look at, man. How are you going to go up against a guy who outweighs you 30, 40, 50 pounds in the ring, man? That's a lot of weight, man. You know what I'm saying? So I think it is a very good idea for Deontay Wilder to go up in weight. I think that he still will be able to move around and be explosive. Now, if he's 245, does Tyson Fury take that punch from a 245-pound Deontay Wilder rather than a 209-pound Deontay Wilder? You know what I'm saying? That could have a big impact on his punching power and also his punch resistance, man. Because Tyson Fury caught him with some good shots. I rewatched the fight Saturday evening, and I saw Tyson Fury catch Wilder with some good shots that buzzed Wilder, man. Especially in that 12th round when Wilder knocked him down and was going for the kill. Fury caught him with a right and then a left hook that backed Wilder up, man. And Wilder was just content with, getting that 10-8 round and leaving that knockout alone, man. But, after watching the fight again, I do think the draw was definitely warranted. I do think that Deontay Wilder won a few of those early rounds and the 2 knockdowns. I could see how the referees could come up with a draw. I could see how the referees could come up with Deontay winning and also Tyson winning. That's how close some of those early rounds were, man. But, overall, we had a good weekend of boxing. Like I said, I am going to go back and watch the HBO card. I want to see what Shields done. I want to see what Cecilia Breakus done, and also Estrada. I see those three fighters won. That's all I know about the fights, but I actually want to see how they won and how they looked. I want to hear what Jim Lampley and Max Kellerman and Roy Jones and those guys over there at HBO have to say with their last broadcast. I'm sure it was very intense, man. I did a video ahead of the fight, just sending my thoughts and my experiences of coming up watching HBO. If you have not yet checked that video out, go check it out. It's a very good video, man. Some very good memories from HBO, and I think you'll enjoy it. But that's all I got for now. It's your boy, Big Will. You have been watching Big Faces Worldwide, man. And if you're not a subscriber to my channel, do not leave here without subscribing. Hit the like button and share this video. I'll holler back.